Alright guys, this is Brian Mounts with turfmechanic.com. Today I want to talk to you about mowing the grass and how that right there doesn't look as good as it should look. I just mowed that grass right there. We're getting ready for my youngest daughter's birthday party. So I'm trying to get this backyard looking its very best by this weekend. That looks pretty good to you, but I can guarantee you it's not that good. Let me show you. So there's the girl right there, and this is the biggest of her presents, which are going to go here on the grass, but we're all going to be walking on the grass while we eat grilled meat, predominantly. But look at all of this. I just cut this down to the lowest setting that my lawnmower will allow, the setting 1, which, depending on your lawnmower, is somewhere around 1 3/8 inches. Got the dogs off in the side, so because I'm doing lawn work, so please ignore their ridiculousness. Now, I've been out here over the past week or so, off camera, hand weeding. So this is a new lawn for me, as many of you guys know. Many of you don't. This is a brand new lawn for me. We just moved into the house. So there's lots of things like this. Look at this. From far away, it just looks like green grass. But look, this is a weed. This is like a gross, disgusting weed. It's just been mowed down short. I can grab it and pull. Look at that. I didn't even get the root because I was trying to do it quickly here on camera, but look at that. The hole in the grass. It's all just weeds coming out of the ground. Point here is there's been a whole bunch of weeds here because I've never lived in this house before. This place was not treated for weeds last year. This place was not, there was no pre-emergent put down in the fall. A lot of the winter weeds came up. We've had flooding here in Southern California throughout the winter. So right now I'm just kind of in recovery mode. But here you go. When you allow all those weeds to come up high, and then you cut them down really short, you're cutting off, look at that, see that? It's like a little flower head there. It's little seed heads, flower heads everywhere. Let me find a weed. Look at this right here. Look at this. Tons of them here. The mower doesn't get all of that. Even if I've got the bagger on, it doesn't get it. Now I could go through the entire yard hand weeding all of this stuff to get rid of it, or I could go ahead and spray a whole bunch of chemicals on it to kill it all off within the next like 2 to 3 weeks. But then if I do that, then I got like dead patches of weeds all over the lawn. Like it's gonna have yellowing and browning in like patchy areas everywhere. Hand weeding them, you know, you're just gonna pull it all out of the ground and you'll still end up having dirt, but it's just hard. It just takes forever. So I didn't even get the whole thing. It's still there. Need a shovel to dig that out of the ground. That one was so big. But the thing is, when you do this, even though it might grow back, all of this, once I put it in the trash, is not going to put seed on the ground anymore. So instead of combing the ground all day for 5 days straight, I'm going to use this little machine. This is popularly called a electric dethatcher. Some people call it a scarifier or a power rake. What I'm going to be using this for is I'm going to stick it on the deepest setting, which I got it to right here. I'm going to be using these flexible tines instead of the hard tines. And I'm going to power rake this area that I've already cut as low as I possibly can with a lawnmower. And you're going to see how much weeds that are buried in the grass that are kind of like laying flat under the leaf canopy pop up. Here, let me give you a ground level perspective. Looks nice, but check this out. All right, that was in only one direction, really. I was just kind of going in one direction. I'm going to show you ground level again so you can see what it looks like, and then I'm going to go in the other direction, and then I might even go in a 45-degree angle, because the more directions you go, the more ground level stolons that you're going to pick up, more of those surface weeds or the undesirable plants growing in your lawn that lay underneath the canopy, the more you're going to pick up. Just the simple fact of the matter, if a stolon is going this way, or if a leaf is going this way, and you're clawing at it with an electric dethatcher in this direction, it's not always going to pick it up. But if you're going perpendicular to it, you will pick it up. So the more directions you go, the more of the stuff you're going to lift up off the ground. It's going to kind of thin out the ground, but you're also going to be cutting off all of the undesirable stuff. The undesirable stuff doesn't grow back quite the same way that grass does. So although we are really stressing out this grass by doing this, the grass recovers very quickly, and the weeds don't. All right, maybe that's not coming out on camera. Maybe it is. You got things like this sticking up. You got things like this sticking up. Look at this. That just came out of the ground. This stuff, that's one of those weeds. I could go around the yard just pulling up. But look, this stuff came up, but this one right here didn't, because it was going in a different direction. That's why we take the dethatcher in different directions. We get stuff all over the place. So I'm going to run my lawnmower over this whole thing with the bagger and suck it all up. Now I'm going to start with an empty bag, and I'll show you how much I pick up in just this small little area, which I'm going to guess is maybe 200 square feet. All right, empty bag going on the mower. All right, that was awkward. Here's the mower. Taking it over to my area. Has already been cut on the lowest setting, remember that. So here I am again on the lowest setting. We're gonna see how much of this bag we fill up just by having gone over it with that dethatcher to pull all of the surface stuff up. All right, that, I don't know if you can see it. I mean, that's stuff that I picked up with my lawnmower after I had already mowed the grass, simply because I ran that machine over it and picked everything that was laying down up. So I don't know how big that is. Guess I could look at the specs of this, but probably, I don't know, 1.5 of cubic feet, 1.5 cubic feet or so of material, and that's going only in one direction. So I'm going to go ahead and take that dethatching machine, that power rake machine, and go in the other direction now and do it again. Go take a quick overhead shot of what it looks like now. So we've already mowed the spot twice. We've already ran that thatching machine over it once. Look at all of this. Look at all of this sticking up now. I mean, I guess I could tease a few more things up out of the ground, but still, it no longer looks tidy. And that's because everything that was laying flat on the ground, growing sideways, is now sticking up enough that our lawnmower over there can actually cut and back. So let's go do it. I've already emptied the bag. At least I think I have. I can't even remember. Yeah, I emptied the bag. So let's go ahead and bag it again and see how much I pick up. All right, there we go. Now, eventually here we get into a mode of diminishing returns. So I could keep running the dethatcher in various directions, pulling stuff up, bagging all of the clippings. What I'm doing is really picking up weed seeds off of the ground. I'm picking up things like this. Looks like I'm still missed that with the mower. But I pick up things like this so that the weed grows back less vigorously. There's going to be less weed seeds later on. And the weeds, or the seeds that this plant was growing, are now in the lawnmower, which I can then discard. Long story short, doing this is going to give you an actual cleaner lawn surface, especially if you're going to be doing an overseeding, which I will be doing on this lawn. I'm going to be overseeding some turf type tall fescue into this to thicken it out. Basically, as the weeds go away, the turf type tall fescue will take over, and eventually I'll be encouraging the fescue to overtake the kikuyu in this lawn. That is going to be a very long process, however. So if you're interested, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and you can watch that process happen over the next, I'm going to say 24 months, because I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. So hey, before I turn the video off, let's take a look and see how much material got bagged up on the second try. Look at that. That is slightly less than the first time, but it's still quite a bit. I mean, that bag is borderline full. So, Esther? Yeah? You excited to turn 3? Yeah. Gonna have a good birthday party? Yeah. Yeah. So let's get all these weeds and the grass up. Now, before before I turn the video off, what I'm gonna do next here as I clean up my patio, I'm gonna throw down some ammonium sulfate on the lawn. So the actual grass, the desirable grass that's here, is gonna get pushed while I just thrashed the weeds that are in there. The ammonium sulfate will cause the existing grass, which is mostly kikuyu over here right now, to grow very vigorously over the next few weeks or so, and it's going to grow in and leaf out over the top, and this whole thing is going to look like I didn't do anything to it at all except for removed the weeds, which is totally cool. Obviously, this takes a lot longer than just simply running the lawnmower over it, but earlier today, I did it all over here and all over there. So everything is super duper short, but within probably a week's time, everything is going to look very lush, because this stuff right here, synthetic fertilizer, pushes grass nearly instantly. If you want to see my video about how to thicken out a thin lawn, make sure to watch it. It's up here. It's a very popular video, and for good reason. It's got good information in it. Take a look at it.